Hi, Chris.
Hi.
Would you mind sharing what you think of a little bit about the fit of Io on your team and some of the things that you're excited about in his game?
Of course. Well, I think he gives us that kind of all-around guard. He's having a career offensive year, so we can definitely use the punch off the bench offensively. Defensively, he's a defensive playmaker. He gets his hands on things. He makes things happen. Creates steals. He can go to end. He should help our pace a little bit. He's a good point of attack defender. I think you play him on and off the ball enough. Gives us a little bit of kind of that. While they have different skill sets slightly, some of the same impact that Nikhil was able to bring to us. I think it's a pretty natural fit. Obviously, there's going to be some adjustment for him and us, but overall, I think we're really excited about it.
Chris, it seems like a lot of people in Chicago say that he is just a super competitive, edgy kind of player like that. I mean, how much do you need that mentality to come in here as you're making a push to the playoffs?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we like that. We like competitive. I don't mind edginess. We definitely could use that. So that's what we want.
How will you go about just incorporating and getting him up to speed as quickly as possible?
Yeah. He won't play tonight. Yeah. Hopefully we'll have him ready to go for Sunday, and we'll just throw him out there. I told him not to overthink it. Just kind of do the things that you've been doing. We'll go from there. And there's a ready-made role sitting there for him, and we're just gonna plug him right into it.
Talking about lineup versatility a lot. How much does it help just being able to add another two-way player to the fold, where this roster sometimes has lacked that?
Yeah, I think that's been key. We were at our best when we have like a tight rotation, like we just are. Like our main guys kind of they find their groove in those kind of minutes, and this really complements those guys too. And yet he can still provide enough spark all by himself. And the fact that he does it at both ends is invaluable because, you don't have to try to think who you put him out there on the floor with. So.
You may have probably just answered the question, but it sounds like he would be part of the 8 if you're going to play it taut that way. That would be the plan moving forward. That he slots right in as one of those 8 men. Yeah,
I think if I didn't play him as one of the 8, I'd probably get fired. Yeah, I like my job too. Yeah. Well, if he's one of the 8, he'll be one of the 9. How's that?
Chris, he's shooting so well from 3 this year, but he also seems like a player that really attacks space well. Putting 2 on Ant, or kind of playing off the catch in that sort of way. Why will that be valuable to your offense? That combination of shooting and playing off the catch.
Yeah, we need more guys that can break the paint. I think certainly with the ball in their hands, break the paint, and I think he's shown like incredible offensive growth in his time in the league, being able to continue to add, comfortable with the ball in his hands and also playing off the ball. Of course, with Julius and Ant, he's going to have to be very comfortable off the ball and be ready to make quick decisions. I think that's key. Might be a little bit of a dynamic that he's not quite used to. Their system there, they played extremely fast and they really moved it well, and they did a lot of great rhythm to their offense. He's going to have to play next to guys that are a little bit more ISO dominant. Speed may not be quite the same, but I told him today, just kind of do your thing, and we'll figure it out. Don't overthink this. Don't overcompensate. Just we'll figure it out as we go.
And you said similarities to Nikhil. I mean, are there a lot more similarities than differences, you think, between their games, or what do those similarities look like?
Yeah, the similarities are, I think both of them are comfortable on and off the ball. Have the basic playmaking skills needed, without having to have the ball in their hands all the time. The shooting piece, continues to get better and better as it did with Nikhil. Point of attack defense, I think competitiveness, mature approach, and all that stuff.
Kind of going down the roster. It's been a while since we asked you about Terrence Shannon and kind of how his recovery has gone, and kind of do you have any updates on when he might be back?
I don't have like a specific date. I do know that this week's huge for him. He's like really looking to get into more of the live stuff right now. So he's close. I just don't know how close.
I guess just in general, how do you project the rest of his season and what his role may be from maybe what it was earlier in the year now?
Yeah, I mean, again, there's still role there for these guys. We'll just have to kind of see, how he comes back, and we irrespective of if there's a ready-made role for him when he returns, we're not afraid situationally to throw him in and go from there. So.
Chris, as Rob Dillingham leaves, just how do you sum up kind of the experience with him here and maybe what didn't quite click for him?
I think it's hard. I mean, he came in. Obviously, he had grand plans. He's young. He's going to be a really good player in this league. He's just going to take some time. Like his timeline was probably a little bit behind where we needed it to be. And just he's just going to have to kind of figure out who he's trying to be in the league, and again, it's a lot of normal young player growing pains for him, but it wasn't really an indictment on him as much as we had a chance, I think, to go out and get somebody who was plug and play. Where we are right now is kind of important. All credit to ownership and Tim and everybody for making this happen, because it's really kind of exactly what we needed. And the cost of doing business was two young players who really need a chance to go play consistent minutes. So hopefully it's one of those trades that work out for everybody. I think Lenny's very, very intriguing, but with our bigs composition, it's just hard. It's really hard. So, I got to find ways to maybe, be better in this space, but right now in the Western Conference, it's where we're trying to go, it just proves difficult. So.
With Io, you talked about how they played in Chicago and playing off ball there being a little bit different, how you guys have some isolation players, but when somebody prefers to play that way, is it good to have more of those guys on the court to kind of continue to push the team in that direction?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what I told him, just keep playing the way you've been playing, get out, create speed, get to the paint, make the simple play that's right in front of you. I certainly don't want him to overthink this or overcompensate just because, he's playing against two guys that have incredible gravity. I think, their system was, basically relied on pace and getting to the paint, collapsing the defense, playing a lot of 5 out. We have Rudy. That's going to be a different dynamic for him. There's going to be some things there. There's no doubt about it. But, talking to him and watching him and studying him, he's a smart player, and I feel confident he'll figure it out. So.
Chris, what do you think Io unlocks for you in terms of different lineups you can put together, especially maybe going smaller with some 3-guard looks that you've gone to in recent weeks that you might be able to plug him into?
Yeah, I think that's certainly positional size is there, so that gives us more flexibility. I do think at times we could get small in a hurry. Previously, I think we can. You just said it. We can play three guards. We feel pretty comfortable. He can play. All by himself at the guard spot too. So, again, we'll have to see. But I like the fact that all of our pieces can kind of fit together.
And then just with Julian, what intrigues you about his game and skill set? Yeah,
definitely don't want to overlook Julian. I think long, rangy wing, super athletic. Like we really don't have a guy on our roster like him. Jaden, of course, but I think. Still a player that's developing. I think got intriguing skill set, tools. I kind of see what we have there. I'm not sure there's something role wise for him right away, but and we'll see what the team needs as we move forward. But it really kind of fits like a longer wing, bigger wing. So something what the league is craving. So it was good pickup by us.